Hey everybody, Miss Randy here, and tonight I'm going to show you how and why I went paper towel free. Now, for the why, first answer, I'm a cheapskate. I'm tired of being a consumer and buying paper towels constantly, only to wind up with the empty rack. It's kind of like buying tobacco to me. I don't want to do it. So I decided to take something I had a lot of and make them into what I needed. What I had a lot of? Bunch of t-shirts. So I decided to use said t-shirts for a higher cause and upcycle them into rags. This is how I'm going paper towel free. I'm turning all of my t-shirts into rags. Not all of them, just 3 or 4 of them. So, alright, when I upcycled my t-shirts, I had to decide on a size that I wanted to cut them into. The size I decided on was 7.5 inches by 9.5 inches, or for you across the pond or up north, that's 19 centimeters by 24 centimeters. This size was perfect for me, it fit well in my hand, and it was more than large enough to get the job done. See, pretty good size. So I went that way, and it also fits in my container. Now, quick disclaimer. This is a disinfecting wipe container. They say not to reuse these. It's probably because the chemicals in them. This one was old, had dried out rags in it. I chose to use it at my own risk. Use these at your own risk. If you are afraid of the chemicals in them or don't want to deal with the chemicals in these, I washed mine out with hot soapy water. You can go ahead and use an oatmeal tin, you can use a Metamucil jar, you can use anything that you can stuff your rags in. You can even use an old grocery sack for all I care. Just think outside the box, find yourself a container. I went with this one, and I had to make something cute for the top. Tea towels, that's what I decided to call these. Alright, so the way that I do my t-shirts is I make sure that they are in half, and I try to get as much goodie out of each one that I can. So I take my pattern, I lay my pattern down, and I decide which way it's going to fit best. Now, if you have to fit 3 going this way, or 2 going this way, or if you have bigger t-shirts, do whatever it takes to use as much of the t-shirt as you possibly can. When you're done, you might have something like this. I used every bit that I could. I even used some of the back, and my only regret is that I couldn't get more out of there. This is a no-sew tutorial, so you can leave your edges raw. It's jersey knit, it's not going to fray. If anything, it'll just roll a little bit and that's it. So go ahead and you lay out your pattern. And if you got a shirt like mine, you're probably not going to get rags exactly this size. That's fine, they're rags. So you just go ahead and draw out your lines in something that's going to be visible. If you don't want to use a pen, use a highlighter. It won't show up on this red shirt. But I go ahead and I just draw my line, turn it around, and I figure this one's not going to be, as long as my other rags, so I go ahead and turn that around. I draw another line. They don't have to be perfect. What I wind up with is a line like this, so that means I'm just going to cut up the center of this shirt all the way up as far as I can, and I'll cut it into roughly rag-sized pieces when I'm done. Alright, now when you go to cut these, make sure, now like I said, I'm just going to cut up the middle. Make sure to cut through both layers, that way you don't have to fiddle around with drawing on it again. Just go and cut through both layers. Then, when you're done, you can cut up the sides, and then you have double for the money, less work, it's easier. After you cut your t-shirts into rag sizes, you will be left with a bunch of random sized rags. Now, you can wind up with some that have seams in them. That's okay. Go ahead and use them if they've got seams in them. If it's the bottom of the shirt, you don't have to rip the bottom of the shirt out. Just leave it just like that and it's fine. Like I said, remember, this is a rag. So once you have all of your rags, you can do as I did to put them in your container. by taking and rolling them. Now this I've already started, but what I do is I just take and I take each one of my rags and I lay it out and I roll it up. Another one, lay it, roll it. To me, this is more worth it than going out and buying paper towels. And I just keep laying them and rolling them until I have all of my rags nice and rolled in. And again, I'm just quick rolling them. You can make them as perfect or imperfect as you want. But once you have all of your rags rolled in, and it's time to stick them in your container. And you just take, I put them down into my container. Since they're t-shirt, they fold down. Tuck that in, and there it is. Perfect little container of t-shirt rags. Pop this. Each one comes out just about like if they were actually wipes out of this container. So there you have it, the t-shirt rags. Now, you don't have to do this step if you're just going to throw them in a grocery sack. That's fine. But this is how I do them. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the fruits of your labors. Have a great night. Wash it, put it back in a container, and you're invaded by a cat. Alright, I'm sorry. Gotta pet the kitty. Okay, fine.